Wolf, tonight we're getting some jarring new detail on the nuclear chain of command and just how quickly the leaders on both sides of a standoff have to make decisions. There are serious new warnings tonight from nuclear experts that with all the missile testing going on, all the rhetoric flying back and forth right now, we could be much closer to a nuclear strike than we believe. For hundreds of thousands of people in Hawaii, a gut-wrenching 38 minutes.
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes.
Alerts were sent to TVs and cell phones. This is not a drill, sending people all over the islands running for cover. Tonight, new warnings from nuclear experts that other scares like Saturday's false alarm could prompt American or North Korean leaders to take measures that could take us on a path to war.
You've heard of the fog of war. Well, the fog of nuclear war is even thicker. So we have to be aware that these tensions will and can get out of control.
CNN is told President Trump was briefed within just a few minutes of the initial alert in Hawaii that it was a false alarm. But if somehow it had become unclear whether a North Korean missile was really flying toward the U.S. or not, and the president felt he had to act, he'd have a frighteningly short amount of time to respond.
The president has 5 or 6 minutes to make a decision. There'll be 3 or 4 minutes to implement that decision by the war room in the Pentagon, 1 additional minute for the underground crews to fire their missiles, and another 15 minutes for submarine crews to fire their weapons.
At that point, nuclear-tipped missiles are flying at 4 miles per second. Analysts now warn of what could happen in the coming months during this period of what one expert calls the Wild West of ballistic missile testing. The North Koreans may take the next major step in their weapons program and test a nuclear-tipped missile over the Pacific.
Instead of sending it high over the Earth's atmosphere and almost straight down, they could send it almost all the way across the Pacific Ocean. That would look like a missile intended to hit a target in the United States. The United States would not know whether that missile is armed with a nuclear warhead or a dummy warhead. So in that event, we might have a U.S. reaction that then could lead to a kinetic response on the part of the North Koreans.
Bruce Blair, a nuclear launch officer at the height of the Cold War, says Kim Jong-un's regime will soon have its nuclear weapons on launch-ready alert like the U.S. does now.
In the future, if they deploy weapons on high alert, then they are going to be susceptible to false alarms, and we are going to be vulnerable to mistakes made by the North Korean military and Kim Jong-un.
Another dangerous component to all this, the personal attacks between the president and Kim Jong-un. Experts warn that a misinterpreted tweet from President Trump could lead Kim to think an attack on North Korea is imminent, and then Kim could launch at the U.S. They point out the young North Korean dictator doesn't have the long experience with nuclear brinksmanship that the Americans do.